Investors should be cautious about any and all stock recommendations and should consider the source of any advice or stock selection. Nothing in this broadcast is an offer to buy or sell any financial instrument, including but not exclusive to stocks, options, etc., bonds, anything. This show is for entertainment purposes only. All investors are advised to conduct their own independent research into individual stocks before making a purchase decision. In addition, investors are advised that past stock performance is no guarantee of future price appreciation. That's your disclaimer. This is the live show from Financial Reboot with the trading team. Let's get started. It was a great day today, ugly day today. Let's take a look at the markets. The Dow closed down about 30 points, was down way more than that. The S&P ended up down 5 points, really, really down a lot more than that earlier in the day. Like yesterday, there was a good recovery in the afternoon. The VIX was up over 12. Now it's back down around that 1150, up 9 cents. The NASDAQ ended up closing down about 20 points. So we're pretty much down a quarter percent across the board. Let's take a look at the spider chart to start off with. Let's pop to a 1-day chart here. Let's get it on the candles, something we recognize. You can see here we had that big sell down in the beginning, then it recovered, and then it kind of baseline, had a little profit taking there after lunch, and then it just ramped right back up. Big buying again in that last 5 minutes. What does that say about tomorrow? Maybe there's a gap up coming, right? We've had 2 bad days. Monday and Tuesday were red days. Maybe Wednesday's a nice green day. Now, are these red days getting you down, putting a frown on your face? Do you want to turn your frown upside down? Subscribe to the newsletter because we're now 6 for 6. So you were talking about yesterday, we were looking to exit that Coke trade. Expired on Friday, this coming Friday. So we were a little short on the time, but we were confident. We advise our newsletter people to hold on, but be ready. And today it happened. Coke went blue right past 47. We were at the $47 strikes. We cashed those out for about 35%. Not bad. That's 6 in a row for us, including we're up a bunch on some trades that we were just talking about. We opened a new trade today. We'll tell you about that in a few minutes. Let's talk about gold. Gold is our lagging trade for November. These expire on Friday. We're right at 122. Gold's right in that high 121s. So we're gonna hold on. We started to debate. We talked about it yesterday. We're close to pulling the trigger and ending the trade, but we got some really good action right before lunch, and it just kind of continued. So spot gold ended up around that 1280. Man, it was really a heart attack today because it went back down below that 1275. We were debating it, but you can see it kind of fought back immediately. So we kind of held out. Here's where we really got concerned when it did that second dip, but it bounced right off that, went right back up to that 1280. Now it's in within striking distance of that 1300. We felt like last week it would challenge that 1300. Maybe we're just a few days late. This one, we're close to break even on it, so we'll just hold on. Bitcoin, we talked about yesterday, right? Let's do a 7-day chart on Bitcoin because we're waiting. We're waiting for our buy point. We talked about it yesterday. We'd like to get in around that 56, 5700 level. Couple tops working here. Looks like a little reversal coming. You got a doji star. Um, One shot at 66, two shots at 66. Let's see if this is the failure. We're looking to buy, like we said, at about 5,800. We'll let you know when we pull the trigger. That's how Bitcoin went. Let's take a look at the markets. And, across the board, we're down about a quarter percent per market. Excuse me. The Dow ended up down 30 points. The S&P ended up down 5 points. The Nasdaq ended up 20 points, and the Russell was down about 4 points, or a quarter percent, pretty much across the board. We take a look at the spider chart. You can see we came down in the beginning, had a nice little recovery there. Big old green bar, a lot of buying volume. And then it kind of baseline, had a little sell down before lunch, and then it just recovered, and then it ended up closing right around that 257.75 level. Um, it was an ugly day, but we still made money. So if you're not making money, if this market's bringing you down, if you're struggling, if you're not sure, there's a fantastic offer for our newsletter in the comment section. So, you know, not much risk in $7 for the first month. Um, so that's the way the market looked on the stock side. Let's roll over here to oil. Oil was kind of a little flat. We lost about $1.60, closed down about $1.60 down, or about 3%, but it's still holding over that $55 level. It's in this fight between 50 and 60. The next level would be breaking through that 60. As long as it stays in that upper 50s, it's got a legitimate shot at that 60. Brent oil still way over $61. So we're not playing oil right now, but we're taking a look. We'd like to see a little consolidation, and then we'll get into it. We just talked about gold. You see gold picked up real nice. This is mostly in the afternoon. Back to that 1280 level. We're close enough right now that we're going to sit on that trade. Silver gave back a little bit today, 2 cents, but it's still over that $17 level we were talking about yesterday. Across the board, the dollar soft against the yen, soft against the euro. That's helping gold also too. Uh, we had a good economic report in Germany. Remember a couple weeks back we were talking about that. America is like the barometer for all economies. So when America's economy grows, it's the tide that floats all boats. So you'll start to see, uh, like dominoes, these other economies will start coming back, coming back. We're actually looking at an ETF for a country right now that we're probably going to be releasing for a newsletter play here pretty soon. You stay with us, you'll find out about that down the road. In the news, not a whole lot of news, same old stuff. It's the tax reform. Roy Moore. There was more big names were identified in this Hollywood sex scandal or pedophile scandal, whatever it is. We're not too much into that, so we're not. I'm sorry, I don't have more information about that. But it's just not interesting to us. If they were pedophiles, throw them in jail. That's a simple solution. But we did see the one. We were curious. We were watching George Takei. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him. He was Sulu on Star Trek back in the day, and he's kind of this heavy progressive, and he's like a god to the progressives. He's like the big Twitter guy and all that. They all love him. And he got accused. I mean, oh my God, he got accused. And I guess he was on Howard Stern years back or a year back or something, and he made some comments about locker room talk, like kind of like locker room talk about grabbing boys and stuff like that. And he came out and made the excuse today that it was just basically his locker room talk. It's funny, it's okay for George Takei, but wasn't that what we beat Trump up about? A little bit of locker room talk about grabbing something. Anyways, so the GOP calls for this Roy Moore to step aside, and this just has to come to a head, or the Republicans have just basically given the seat away. Um, which is not unusual for the Republicans. You know what we always tell you about the Republicans? They are their own worst enemy. Um, when they're not in the when they don't control the House and the presidency, the White House, they talk about they're all unified. They're all we're going to repeal and replace Obamacare. We're going to lower taxes. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. The minute they get power, they're so busy fighting amongst each other. Look at it. We're more than a year into Trump's presidency, and we have done jack squat. Jack in a Box, one of my favorite fast foods. I like Jack in a Box. I don't know how you guys feel, but I like Jack in a Box. Don't tell Samuel I said that. But man, that thing just popped. They got a $134 million investment, man. Nice, Jeff Sessions, more mealy mouth from the Trump administration there. Nobody can get there. Nobody on either side can get their story straight. I was watching Donna Brazil, and she's just opened a can of worms, man, with this DNC and the railroading Bernie and stuff. And I think at this point you can't believe any of them, right? I mean, you just can't believe any of them. But it's hella fun to watch. Hella fun. Let me borrow a term from the millennials. Hella fun to watch. Yeah, two top and snap investors bought more. Poor people. Sorry to hear that. Home Depot, man, had good earnings this morning. That didn't buoy the market, but it's a good sign going forward. It's a promising sign for Christmas season for retail, that's for sure. Other than that, here's another one and this is important information. Okay, when you're a trader, it's important to be able to look through your news and to immediately disseminate what's important to you and making money, and what's just fodder for Twitter and everything else. This is important. Biotech just entered a correction, but one trader says it could be your best chance to buy. I remember last year, banks, when they were in a correction, everybody was telling us, don't buy, don't buy, don't buy. We bought, but we found the right entry point, and we made buku bucks off those trades. So we're taking a look at biotech. If you want us to do the research for you, here we go again. Shameless plugs. Subscribe to the newsletter. Roku is downgraded. But we still like Roku going forward. We're not playing it, but we like Roku. Airbnb, man, the revenue jumped 50%, $1 billion in a quarter. How nice is that? And then, hey, this is a guy that we really like. We like to read his books. We like to watch him. He's got stuff on the internet and all that, but he's really, really inspirational. You can get great, great life messages from Tony Robbins. This is the best way to motivate someone who's being lazy. I was going to tell you what's in this, but then I'd be enabling you to be lazy, and I wouldn't be. I'd be doing the opposite of what Tony says to do. So you go read it yourself. Um, Here's another piece of important news, okay? Most NFL owners want to wait to extend Commissioner Roger Goodell's contract. I'll let you guys in a little secret. We've found the short we want associated with the NFL. We are waiting for a couple of triggers before we pull our trigger and get into the trade. But we've identified what we want to do, and we're just looking for two signals before we actually get into the trade. One of those signals is them extending Roger Goodell's contract. The reason being is, much like the Titanic, we want to make sure when we short this that the captain of the ship isn't smart enough or talented enough to avoid the iceberg. Okay? All right. So Robert Schiller, concerned as market optimism hits lowest. I don't know. You see so many articles like that. That's why you got to get used to it, um, and just realize that's nonsense. One day there's too much market optimism. The next day there's not enough. Which one is it? See people who have been highly influential. So you can see GE. We've been talking about that for the last couple of days. GE, man, is just getting crushed. It's below $18. We were looking for a short on it, but we just didn't see anything we like. The options are really pricey. They're not, the premiums are really, really, the market makers see it coming. So we just stayed away from shorting GE. We're looking for a bottom now. We'll let you know. First digital pill has been, I don't know, I guess you just chew on your phone or something. Howard Schultz calls GOP tax plan fool's gold. Man, the rhetoric's just going on this tax plan, huh? Is it not fun though? I mean, really, is it not fun? One thing, look, love him or hate him, one thing you got to admit that Trump has brought this to politics is absolute fun, man. It's just mania. And then, of course, the last one, Bob Pisani. Bob Pisani is a longtime CNBC guy. I remember watching him years ago, man. He's always good fun to watch. Pretty, really smart guy and stuff. He says the stock market's tone is changing with some indicators pointing to a year-end sell-off. Well, if it sells off, we'll be ready. All right. But right now, Bob, we are making money. So that's pretty much the news today. Hope you guys had a great day. It's Tuesday, and we're about halfway through the week. We've already cashed in one big winner. We're now what, 6 for 6? 6 for 6. We're looking to be 7 for 7 with this gold trade, and we opened up a new trade we were telling you about. And yes, I purposely said this at the end of the show so you'd watch the whole show. Haha. Anyways, I guess it's not a psychological maneuver if I tell you, right? Anyways, So we got into Nike today. We're long on Nike. We bought some options out to December. Nike's got their earnings on the 19th. We bought some options for $60 strikes, expiring 12/15. So that's what our new trade is. Actually, we got into those at about 11 cents. If you're a newsletter subscriber, you got into them for about 11 cents this morning, maybe 12 cents, depending on how you put your order in. But that's what we're playing long right now. So here we go. We are 6 for 6 so far, and we're looking for more. All right. So you guys have a great day. If you're getting something out of the show, as always, please subscribe, pass it on, share it, like it, um, whatever is associated with the social media you're viewing this on. We roll this on Facebook Live, Twitter Live, and YouTube. So whichever one you prefer, please subscribe, please comment. I don't have any questions today, so we're going to cut it at this. It was a good day for an ugly day. We had a nice day again today. The other trade that we're in that's live right now is, guys know we're in Cisco. We weren't able to close those out. We got a little bit of a move from Cisco back over 34. We decided to carry those through earnings tomorrow. So let's see how Cisco does. The internet is Cisco. Remember when they used to say that back in 2000? The internet is Cisco. Anyways, so we'll talk to you soon. Hope you're having a great day. We'll be back tomorrow, hopefully with more good news about trades. Remember, if you're not having any luck in the market, if these red days are bringing you down, um, if you need some help, if you just want some guidance, we keep our newsletter service small so that we can give personalized service, more bang for your buck, and winning stock picks. So we'll talk to you soon. Aloha.